Welcome back to the channel. In this video we are going through how you can install different vehicle models to LSPDFR. In the previous video we did plugins. In the next one we're going to be doing uniforms because they all work in different ways. This is possibly the toughest one alongside uniforms if you don't know what you're doing. Plugins are incredibly easy, so if you're just starting out with this stuff, go watch the plugin video, learn how to do some plugins, then come back, because this stuff can take hours and hours. If it's done incorrect, you can actually corrupt your game data, you can cause game crashes all the time. It's very, very risky stuff. Before you do anything, I want you guys to go and create yourself a mod folder. So what you do is you go and find your root directory for GTA 5, which is this. You'll see the exe. If you're doing the plugins, you'll see the Rage plugin hook. And all you want to do is right click, new folder, create a folder called mods. Then what you need to do is you need to control click update and x64 and copy them and then paste them into your mods folder, because that's going to basically separate your original game files and your modded game files. So if anything goes wrong with one of the mods, you can simply delete this mod folder and it will take you back to your original game. So it's creating a backup basically, and that way you don't have to fully reinstall the entire game if something goes wrong. It's so helpful because GTA is over 100 gig. Even on fast internet, that's taking you about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Obviously it all depends on your internet speeds, but some people could have to sit there and wait like 12-16 hours for it to install. Remember, all the mods and stuff I use are for single player. I don't take any of that into multiplayer. I don't want to ruin the experience, don't want to get banned from any games or anything like that. Make sure you do that mod folder before anything, because it's going to create a backup of the game. And also that update and x64 folders, if you're running on hard drive like I am, it's going to take you about half an hour to transfer that stuff over. If you're on SSD, it's going to be a load quicker. I do have an SSD, it's just I don't have a lot of storage on it. I've got a 2 terabyte hard drive, so I just use that to install all my games too. But once you have your mod folder, you're going to need OpenIV. You're also going to need pack file limit adjuster, and you're going to need heap adjuster, because there is issues with GTA when you are doing mods like vehicle packs. The game will not be able to access enough RAM. So installing these two, I don't know exactly what they do, I'm not a modder, I just watched a video, but basically these two are going to allow the game to access more RAM so your game doesn't crash. Because if your game can't access enough RAM from your PC, it's just going to keep crashing. And that's what it does when you install a vehicle pack or something and you haven't got those two installed. So they're on GTA5mods.com, just the pack file limit adjuster and the heap adjuster. You can find those, Google them, they're going to pop up straight away. And then all you do is you just want to click download, it's going to take you to another page when it wants to work. Download, then click there to download, and then simply all you have to do with those two, I'll close them now because we've gone through it, is again, you're going to have zip files. You're going to need WinRAR or another zip file opening sort of bit of software. And then you find your root directory again. In there, you simply get your, where are they? Pack file limit adjuster, the ASI and the INI. And also your heap adjuster, which is here. The ASI, then it's got configuration settings and a text document. Simply just grab them, drag them over, copy them to your root directory, and that's them set up. It's that easy to do that. It's going to allow the game to access more RAM so that crashes don't occur. OpenIV is where you're going to be using that mod folder you created at the start of the video, or from the start of the video, and this is going to let you actually install the mods properly. I'm not using Lenny's mod loader because I've tried it several times, both different versions of the beta, and it just crashes, it corrupts my game data. There was a lot of issues with it, so I've decided to manually install all of these mods, and it's taken me so long to sort this stuff out. I was literally sat there for 5 hours, non-stop, no breaks, no nothing, 5 hours, just sitting there trying to sort all this stuff out. All I was doing it for? Police tape and a vehicle pack, so that I've got a different texture or skin on my vehicles. I've managed to sort it out now, but to get used to all this stuff took me about 5 hours. And that's why I'm creating these videos. Plugins, easy. This stuff, a lot tougher. But OpenIV, install it, and it's going to go to your desktop or whatever. And then once you have it installed, it's going to basically ask you to select your root directory. So same thing again. Wherever yours is installed, mine's in my D drive, YT games there. Wherever the exe is to load GTA 5, that's your root directory. So select that. Then we're going to open up OpenIV. Make sure you click Windows, because if you click any of these, it's going to act as though you don't have the game. So GTA 5, Windows, click there. It's going to start OpenIV. It's really handy to make that mods folder first, because you're going to have to make it anyway. But the very first thing you want to do when you come into OpenIV is go Tools, go Options, Default Work Mode set to Edit, because there's a lot of editing you have to do within this stuff. And if it's on like read only, then you have to keep clicking Edit Mode up here. Basically, setting the default work mode to edit just means you don't have to click this all the time. If there is something you just want to read, then you can obviously change it to read only and then just click there when you do want to edit. That's just for like ease of use. But here's the mod folder we have created. In this example, I'm going to show you, I'll show you this first, because this LSPD, so Los Santos Police Department Mega Pack, I've only done part 1 because I'm just using this for example. I'm not installing these vehicles. But this is a tougher way of doing it. And you also have to pay attention to whether the vehicle pack is ELS or non-ELS. ELS is Emergency Lighting System. It's incredibly tough to use. The interface is full of all these numbers and letters and stuff that it's going to take you a long time to learn how to use it. But basically it's going to give you a better lighting system. I've gone for packs that are non-ELS because I simply can't be bothered with it. Like, I'll give you an example of what it does. When you're playing LSPDFR normally, E is to turn your sirens on and to turn all the lights on your vehicle. When you install ELS and you run an ELS car pack, it turns into like G, J, K, L and then 1 through 7 on your keyboard as well. E doesn't work anymore. E will just be your horn. You can change all of the key bindings, but it's an absolute nightmare. It's not even simple key bindings, it all works through numbers instead of letters. So for an example, K might be like 74 or 75. It's an absolute nightmare, so I've gone with non-ELS because I just want it simple. I can jump in a car, press E, turns my sirens on, turns my lights on, and I'm good to go. So this pack here would be running through ELS. This one here is the Los Santos Police Department Mega Pack ELS. You'll see it says there. Also, just to let you know quickly, if you go Vehicle Models, this is on the LSPDFR.com website. You sort by most downloaded. And then here, ELS compatibility. Please, just for simplicity, do non-ELS. Because it's an absolute nightmare. You still got vehicle packs and everything in there. There's no need to worry about that stuff. It's just, this is so much easier to run than running it through ELS. Because as I said, your buttons change. They are incredibly awkward. The Los Santos Police Department Mega Pack. If we go into this, you have the README installation, you have the vehicle's meta, which is required, the VCFs, which is to run it through ELS. I don't know if this pack does actually require ELS. It says it in like closed brackets, but I don't know if it 100% needs ELS. But then you have the models. Templates you can ignore, but the models, if we go here, this is all the different vehicles available within that pack, but this is just the sedans. There are SUVs as well in this pack. So if I click on the 2016 Dodge Charger, I have those 3 files. I then need to go to mods. I need to basically go through all of these. I don't know exactly where it is. I can't remember. I think that might be it. No, see, this is to change one of the... this is to sort out one of the skins. But you basically have to do a lot of different stuff. You would find where these files go. I can't remember. There's readmes and installation things as well. But that's incredibly tough. It's annoying, it takes a long time, and that's just for one vehicle. You have to do it for every single one. I mean, doing multiple, you simply just get all of those files, put them on your desktop, grab them all, and then just chuck them all into the correct folder. But we're not going to do it like that, because I think that requires ELS. The emergency lighting system is a nightmare to deal with. I refuse to deal with it ever again. I just want a simple, realistic time on LSPDFR. I just want to use E for my sirens, my lights, everything. Just E, please. I don't want to have to use 12 different keys on my keyboard just to turn my bloody sirens on. Okay, the Ultimate British Police Pack. Before we get into this, make sure you've got OpenIV set up. Make sure you have your script hook, all of your raid sort of stuff going, blah, blah, blah. There's loads of stuff to do with this. But if you followed from the very first video, you should have everything besides one thing. You've got your mod folder and everything. You're going to need a modified game config. So head over again to LSPDFR.com and you're going to, in the search box, just search game config. So game config, and then click files. If files isn't there, you can go more options, then select files. Search for it. It's a little bit of, like, it's a little ways down in that list once you've searched. But it's gameconfig.xml for LML, which is Lenny's mod loader 2189. It's not actually used just through Lenny's mod loader. But what you do is you install that. I'll actually get that installed quickly. So go down, download this file. I'll just show you what you need to do with it. So save the file. It's going to go to my desktop and I'm going to load this up. You have a README which tells you exactly what to do. So we'll actually follow these instructions. So what we're going to need to do is load up OpenIV. You're going to follow the manual installation instructions. So open mods. So that mods folder we created. Update. And then update.rpf. And then common. And then data. And in here, if we scroll down, you will see gameconfig.xml. So what you want to do is just close the README. Versions, go with latest. There's your game config. So you simply grab it, drag and drop into there. It's going to overwrite that one. You'll know because it says compressed, like after you've transferred it. And there you go. There's your modified game config. You are then set up with OpenIV, the pack file limit adjuster, the heap adjuster, all that sort of stuff that we went through at the beginning of the video. Once you've got all of that and game config set up and installed into, like, it's all been put into OpenIV and everything, you are good to go. So, with this Ultimate British Police Pack, it's so easy to install this sort of stuff because it's all been packaged into an OIV, so an OpenIV file, which is amazing. If you find any vehicle models or anything like that and they have an OIV file, you're in for a good time because it's so simple. So that game config, get rid of. Here, Ultimate British Police. Open that up. Make sure you can see it. Here, Ultimate British Police Pack 1.3 OIV. All you need to do is just go to GTA 5. You can be anywhere in OpenIV. Click Tools. Also as well, ASI Manager. Click on there. And just make sure that OpenIV.asi is installed. This ASI loader will automatically be installed, or it should be by default. Just make sure that this second one is installed as well. You simply click it, it takes a couple of seconds and it's done. But Tools, Package Installer. All you need to do is this Ultimate British Police Pack, the OIV file, slap it onto your desktop for 2 seconds. When it's on your desktop, click it, it's going to install, and it will put everything from that pack into your game of GTA. If you watched the first video, I'll show you in a second as well. If you watched it, you would have seen right towards the end, I've got all the Metropolitan Police vehicles. All of my police cars in the game are skinned, like they have their skins, their textures, to look like the Metropolitan Police. That's why I'm going to be learning how to do the uniforms, because there is a Met Police uniform, which is... where is it? This one. If we have a look at one of these images, you'll see, like here, I can dress up like the Metropolitan Police, so we can see this sort of stuff in game, because I've got all the vehicles to go with it. So there, instead of looking like your typical LSPD, I can look like the Metropolitan Police. But this requires a lot of other stuff to be done, and I also want to get this Taser X26. So we're going to be learning as well as teaching in the next video. But yeah, that's the Ultimate British Police Pack. It all comes packed. As I just explained in that OIV, you simply just go Tools. You put this onto your desktop, so drag it onto your desktop. Once that's extracted onto there, all you've got to do on OpenIV is Tools, Package Installer. Simply just click that. Make sure it goes into your mods folder. Don't just do it into the game's normal root directory. Do it into the mods folder, and you're good to go. It will install everything from that pack. It's that easy to get vehicles, because if I close this, close all of this, you don't need OpenIV running or anything. What I'm going to do is, so that my plugins load and so that LSPDFR actually works, is root directory, hover over so that Rage plugin hook can be seen, open up the game, Right, so we go library, GTA, click there. It's going to give me a prompt to allow the app to make changes to the PC or whatever, blah, blah, blah. So it's going to connect to Rockstar Game Services. Do not try and go online with this stuff. That ASI loader, no, not the loader, I think it's OpenIV.asi or something. In the OpenIV software, that's going to stop you being able to go online anyway. But basically, this is all used for single player. This is just to play LSPDFR. There's a lot of stress, it's really time consuming. I'm going to quickly Alt-Tab, click on Rage Plugin Hook. That's going to start loading. So there we go. All of my plugins are available now. So I can actually load straight into LSPDFR. OpenIV is closed. Remember, that doesn't need to be open. You simply just use that package installer, get that British Police pack installed. I think there are several other car packs that only use the package instead of having to do it all separately. So you see bottom right, loading story mode with Rage Plugin Hook. I mentioned this in the first video as well. When you're on that loading screen, if it freezes, then click off the game, click back on, and it'll continue loading. It hasn't actually crashed your game. But you'll see, we have the vehicles. All of our normal police vehicles are reskinned to look like the Metropolitan Police. If you're not at a police station, what you can do is F4 with your Rage Plugin Hook. You can go to PD. That's going to bring you over to this police station. It does it every single time. Then what you want to do to go onto duty, you can, just let me explain this fully first. You can F4, force duty. That's going to get you dressed, is going to do everything to get you on duty and ready to go as a police officer. But please, do not do that. I mean, you can try it, but I will never do that again with this Metropolitan Police pack on, because it crashes my game. For some reason, having this car pack on, there is a car available. Having this car pack on does not let me force duty. I can't force it. So go into a police station. That's why I said you can use go to PD. Then simply just run into the room, open the locker room. And this is where it gets really fun, because I'm going to be sorting out the uniform so we can dress like the Met Police. Go on duty. That's going to load in all of your plugins. The same thing would happen if force duty works for you. And then once they're all loaded in, if we go police locker, we can put our outfit on. So we'll confirm that. And then police garage. You guys have seen what it looks like default when you go into the police garage. You've got your normal cruisers and stuff in there. But we go in there with the British Police pack on and look at this. They've all been changed. And the best thing is, I can go modifications and you can put all your normal mods on them too. So if I go brakes, engine, leave the plate, suspension, transmission, turbo, apply all, select and continue. This is the transport unit. Then we start driving. For some reason you can't actually hear the turbo in this one. But because this is a non-ELS vehicle pack, and it comes with several vehicles, you press E, and your sirens and lights come on. I mean, they're not necessarily that bright. You can use Radiance V, there's different stuff that you can use to make the lights brighter. But I'm not bothered about the brightness of the lights, as long as I know they're working. My sirens are working, we're good to go. One simple button. ELS makes you use about 10. But there we go. We have a Metropolitan Police vehicle pack, which I'm so happy to have. It just changes up the experience on LSPDFR. And I'm on duty, so you can see here, police radio, I'm currently not available for calls. But everything works fine. And all the vehicles will look like that. I believe if there's normal police just roaming around, they'll also be in the Metropolitan. That's why I want the uniform pack. I want to dress up like one as well, so it looks like we're in Los Santos as Metropolitan Police. I think it'll be cool for the series I'm doing for this. But yeah, after all the stress, OpenIV, all of the adjusters so the game can access more RAM, and then installing the packages and everything like that, it's an absolute nightmare. But once you've got it done, it does feel good. And then, because you created the mods folder right at the beginning, if anything does go wrong with this Metropolitan Police pack, if I try installing something else and it goes wrong, all I've got to do is just simply remove that mods folder from my game directory, put it in the recycle bin, get rid of it, and boom. Game's back to how it was, with all the plugins and everything. It doesn't go back to its original state when you first install it, but I'll keep all the plugins. It'll just remove this vehicle pack and anything else I install through OpenIV, just because we got rid of the mods folder. That's why you create the copy of the update and x64, put them into the mods folder, so that it's separate. It's basically a backup that you can mod, so that you don't have to sit there and install another like 100 gig installation for this game. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments. I'll see you in the next one, which will be the uniform pack. I hope you guys enjoyed it.